Welcome back to the Foolish Commander. Today we'll be going through two boards of horse sacrifices, as this year is the year of the horse. Morbid, yeah, but I mean, the horses in Xiangqi are rather, well, in the early game they are rather hard to use, let's just say that. After all the pieces are blocking and they cannot really move freely until the late game. Mid to late game, I can guarantee you they are a menace. They will terrorize your board and make the whole game much more complicated, trust me. But in the early stages of the game, the horses are usually one of the weakest pieces to be there. As a result, most of the early game will be focused on targeting the horses, killing the horses before they have the chance to open the space up and kill everyone. You know what I mean? So in some boards, such as the boards that we're going to go through today, these boards are going to be focusing on sacrificing their own knights and horses to emerge victorious. We'll be going through two boards, one red, one black, and why? Because good things come in two. So without further ado, let us begin, and today I'll be talking about the first and one of the most famous boards in Xiangqi history. Just to give you some context, in Xiangqi there's a lot of ancient manuals. And this is one of them. This is called Tangerine in Secrets in the Tangerine, or 局中秘, where it is one of the most ancient and important Xiangqi manuals out there. Yes, I think there's a few more. There's like the plum one, 玫瑰 or something. Then there's the 来自自从无敌洞 or something like that. I'm not too sure on the names, but there's quite many books on ancient Xiangqi, and this is one of them. This is the first board that you shall see here, and this is what we call the 弃马13招. 弃马 literally translates to sacrifice knight, 13招 13 steps. So this game will be won in 13 steps by sacrificing our knight. Let us begin seeing it with the first move of c2 equals 5. c2 equals 5, central cannon, very basic. c8 equals 5, this is same direction cannon, also very basic. k2 plus 3, k8 plus 7. So, very simple moves, just protecting this pawn, center pawn like that. r1 plus 1 to play horizontal chariot instead of vertical chariot, and r9 equals 8 to play vertical chariot. Good, good. So this is a very standard Xiangqi opening. Then we have r1 equals 6. I don't think there's anything really bad here. r8 plus 6, I think it's still fine. Then r6 plus 7. r6 plus 7 is a very aggressive move. The main idea between r6 plus 7 is with the possibility of blocking the knight out and the possibility of attacking the knight here if he does try to push up, or attacking the cannon if it's not being protected properly. As a result, black is forced to play the knight. Now, which knight will be better here? k2 plus 1 here or here? Give you a second to guess it. If you run the engine, the correct answer would be k2 plus 3. As chariot goes down and attack it from underneath, black will now play k7 minus 5, protecting this knight. Why is this fine? It's because red's chariot has now wasted too many moves. In all the development, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. And now he's stuck here in this, well, black's area. Red really cannot really make use of this chariot, late now. So his development is rather weak. Of course, black's own development isn't looking too hot, but there's a slight advantage to black because, well, at least his chariot is now actively attacking something instead of being trapped in a prison hell. So in the next future moves, you can have cannon move to the side, push up the elephant, and then push it down here to attack it. Something like that. Something along those lines. Yep, something along those lines. If let's say he tries to attack it like this, you can offer a trade up, and if he trades it, red will have, we can count the number of moves developed. 1, 2, black will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 versus 2, which is better? I'm sure you can count. Okay, let's go back. Go back. In 13招 or 骑马13招, Black decided to play K2 plus 1. Because he is not aware, because usually for us players, Xiangqi players, we usually never want to push our knight back. Engines oftentimes will move it back because as a way to protect the piece, but it doesn't feel good because it makes the piece very weak. It makes the board very weak. Of course, for this type of situations, it is still fine because there's still room to improve later on. But usually, as a common rule of thumb is, you never want to push your knight to the center. This is called War Xingma, one of the worst moves in Xiangqi. Okay, so K2 plus 1 is going to prevent whatever I just transpired, even though engine really likes it. K2 plus 1 now weakens the center pawn. This shall be very important later on, as Red decides to, well, give away his knight for free with R9 plus 1. He's not going to take anything back just yet. Black will then play C2 plus 7, immediately taking the knight. I mean, free knight must take. Very common in Singapore, Xiangqi, to just say, what's the word? Free piece just take. Yeah, that's the motto we live. Free piece just take, unless it's not free. And this knight is definitely not free. C2 plus 7 takes it back, and immediately Red plays C8 plus 5. C8 plus 5's idea is to get rid of the last defender for the central part. Now, Engine here once again says, this is fine, give it up, give the knight up. You just play R2, R1 equals 2, if he takes the knight, and then you can play a visor up or something. I think it's a visor up, yeah. This is slight positive for Red in advantage. But as most ordinary players, we know that we want to protect this knight. Come on, we're not going to give out a knight for free. We just took your knight, and I'm not going to trade it. So I will play. I can't play n7 minus 9, right? Otherwise you take it. So I play n7 minus 8. Then r9 equals 6. Doubling up the chariots. Oh, this is a fierce one. Red now has to play a6 plus 5. Why a6 plus 5? The advisor must move up. It's because if we don't, we die. Literally. Look. Double chariot checkmate. So we must defend it. And we will defend it by a6 plus 5 instead of a4 plus 5. Because at least our way out is not being blocked by chariots. Because immediately if you play a4 plus 5, Red's next move will be the same, c5 plus 4. And now you have nowhere out to run to. Your general will die in his miserable cave. So a6 plus 5, c5 plus 4, and now general we can run. k5 equals 6. Here, in this position, I want you to pause the video and find the best move. Comment down the best move if you can find it. Found it? Alright, let's continue. The best move here is not a simple check. Because if you check like this, the cannon will move here, and now your checkmate is gone. It's very hard for you to execute checkmate because your pieces are disconnected. They're not aligned together. So, the best move here is to sacrifice the chariot. And Black has only two moves. k6 plus 1 or a visor down. In the original manual, it is a visor down, a5 minus 4. a5 minus 4, Red doesn't take with this. No. Red goes back to attack the general. Black can only push the cannon here because that's his only move. He cannot move it backward. So he moves it here, c5 equals 6, r4 plus 6, check. k6 equals 5, c8 equals 5, checkmate in 13 moves. So not only we give out a knight, we give out a chariot. But a5 minus 4 isn't the best move actually. The best move is k6 plus 1. This is a bit weird. Because according to Engine says that this is made in 15. Yep, 15 damn moves. He is pretty much dead, let's be honest. Something like move it up, you try to defend it like this, cannon takes, then he tries to defend it some other ways. It's a bit icky. Not a big fan of this stuff. Black really doesn't have many more moves to defend. Probably moves it up or something. Cause here, where do you go? This advisor is getting attacked if you don't, or maybe cannon move to the side. Maybe cannon move to the side, raids chariot to go here to attack, and then you lose. Yeah, but according to engine it's made in 15, I didn't see the full one. I was just curious on the actual answer. And yeah, this is going to be a bit longer, but black is really in a very bad position because both chariots and both cannons are attacking the general. And what does the opponent, what does our black player have? One advisor, and the elephants are scattered. It's really a lose here. Alright, so this is the first game. This called, again, same direction cannon. Do be cautious of, I mean, first things first, what I would say that, first things first, I think in same direction cannon, oftentimes we want to defend the center pawn much more because both sides have a cannon. So even for red, we will like to play k8 plus 7 instead of k8 plus 9 because leaving one knight there to defend is very dangerous in central cannon. As you can see here, k2 plus 1 contributed to his loss because now that his knight is gone, it's very easy to strike down. And his knight is useless here. His knight cannot come into the fray. Next one will be k9 when we have c2 plus 7, right? c2 plus 7 is too hasty of an attack. In my opinion, c2 plus 7 is not the right move here because how would you justify going in? You take one knight for free, yes, but there's a chariot already waiting in your palace. I don't think that's the time for you to take it. So for now, if I was playing, I would play something like a6 plus 4, defending a bit more, or just normal development first before we go through the phases. C2 plus 7 is even more horrible because it gives red a spot to attack the one and only knight defending your pawn. c8 plus 5, k7 minus 8. Then once it attacks here, you are basically dead. There's no counterplay to this. c5 plus 4, yeah, there's really not much counterplay to it because his pieces are all ready to attack. He has 4 attacking pieces, even as we can see in the final part. 4 attacking pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whereas black's pieces are much more dislocated. Not dislocated, sorry. What's the word? I can't remember. Much more disjointed. Yeah, disjointed. Especially with this cannon going in on its own. Now the cannon can't really do much. Yeah, so I think those are the very important takeaways that we can learn from this. Do note, even though this book is very important, and this book, Secrets in the Tangerine, is one of, if not the most important book, no, if it's one of the important book manuals in Xiangqi, most of the contents itself are quite outdated. Even for this, right, the checkmate itself is wrong because the best move was k6 plus 1 instead of k5 minus 4. And as a result, some parts here and there will not be applicable. Alright, that's game number 1. Let's move on to game number 2, board number 2, because I'm going to reset this and going to switch parts. This one is going to be a usual one. Usual central cannon against screening knight. Just to give some context, because I actually play against this. And my usual void deck, I have a couple of Xiangqi players. And sometimes I will just loiter there and just play it. Okay? So, one of those days after school or something, I had nothing going on, I just go and sit down and play. Then this guy pulls out this opening against me. And I was flabbergasted. I couldn't do anything about it. I was actually, oh man, I thought he was not paying attention or something, but no. He was aiming for somewhere else. I am the central cannon player, so I play c8 plus 5 equals 5, k2 plus 3, k8 plus 7, r1 equals 2, r8 equals 9. Now here, Black decides to play p3 plus 1, p7 plus 1, p3 plus 1. So black now lets me play p3 plus 1 now. Which is what I wanted. This is in the normal manual, p7 plus 1. Red will now strikes down. I strike down. Oh, you know, black decides to just solidify it with knight up. So this is a very simple screening knight defense against central cannon. Me being me decides to push it down all the way. r8 plus 6. He played e7 plus 5. Interesting move. Usually we don't want to play elephants at all. We don't want to play elephants in ping pong setups because in that setup, both our knights are being protected by the cannons. With the elephant being logged inside here, it gets very difficult for the players to play. Wait, no, yeah, it's very difficult to defend this knight now because this knight is going to be very vulnerable. But of course, he's not going to care about the knight. That knight is going to be the sacrifice. r8 equals 7. Wait, no. Here, before I play r8 equals 7, I play k2 plus 3 first. Yeah, should be k2 plus 3 first. Just to develop. Normal development first. Here, then he plays, I think he played a6 plus 5 or something. Okay. Wait, no, maybe he didn't play the elephant move. No, a6 plus 5, yeah. Then I decide to attack it. Free knight, mistake. He plays c8 plus 4. Then I was thinking to myself, really? Are we just attacking the elephant here? We're not going to care about the knight that you're going to give me? I'll just take it then. c8 equals 3, walking my elephant and the chariot. This place is now, I'm screwed. I'm actually screwed here. Oh no, what do I do here now? Because where can I move my chariot? My chariot is being locked away inside the prison of black. Here I just went, oh I really just say shit here. Then I just take this cannon or something like that. He just takes it, check, push it up. Then it takes. Now he has a headhunter cannon against me. This is not good, this is not good. I try to push it up. I think I pushed my knight out by accident. Push his cannon back. Then I was like, oh, what do I do here? What do I do here? What do I do here? Let's say place like, I think I place something like a chariot here. Push his chariots out. He's gonna go here and goes down to my bottom line. I think what did I do? Did I panic? I panicked a lot after losing my chariot because, like I say in Xiangqi, losing a chariot is like losing an arm. It's really, really hard to play from there onwards, especially with a hit counter. I think from there, I just lost. I just surrendered after losing it. So we say, okay, you know what? We play again. Let's go again. This time I'll find a way to counter you. He said, sure. I think it was the same thing, but instead of pushing the elephant now, he just went here. I think the original line was, oh no, the original line was this. This takes, if you take, he goes, this is one of the lines that he also showed me as well. Basically, okay, just to flashback. At here, r equals 7, attacking the knight. He just attacks my pawn first, attacking the elephant and the rook. By taking the pawn now, he just takes the elephant, check, and then attacks my rook immediately. Also messed up. I also lost here. So I think the elephant move was later on to just give extra coverage for central pawn attacks. Because in this game, I think I played k2 plus 3, played the c8 plus 4. I thought to myself, alright, I'm playing, wait no, sorry. Here, he plays this, then he plays out. Yeah, something like that. This is one of the other games. So I think he played with me three times. And this is the third game where I just said, no, I'm not going to lose to this trap, I'm going to win it. Here, instead of attacking the pawn, right, he goes here again. I take the knight confidently. Wait, no. Here, instead of taking the knight confidently first, I push the pawn up, preventing this spot. He can't take my 7 pawn now. He can't attack my rook. Easy. Then he pushed the elephant up. I was like, okay, I'll just take it for free. Then he pushed the advisor up. Okay, I mean no threat here. Time to develop properly. Then he pushed the rook up. Push the rook to the side. Okay, what is he doing now? I guess I would just normally develop. Then he pushed the rook here. And by the time I realized it's too late. Because what he was doing is he's trying to make the structure here. He wants to attack the pawn again. I was like, no, this isn't good, I'm going to push my knight up. Then he plays something along the lines of... I think he played something along the lines of taking the pawn here, because he wants to go to the bottom line. If I take, he gets central cannon. But I don't think that's what he wants. He just wants to take this and now attack my pawn here. I'm like, shit. He's doing this again. How am I going to win him now? Then I push my rook here, trying to force an attack. Because my rook is also kind of stuck here. He can't go anywhere. Then he takes here. This time no knight lah, but my knight is going to die soon. Yeah, I think I just panicked. Playing a4 plus 5. Take it. Oh shit, he's going to attack. I don't know. I guess I play something like this. Mate. Yeah, I panicked a lot during this game. So, with the rook coming down so fast, I think I mentioned this in another video. When you're playing r8 plus 6 or r2 plus 6, you need to be very, very careful of your surroundings. Because now your rook is in foreign territory, and it's very easily to be hooked out and killed by the stake. Playing the elephant there is also another type of trap. Even if he just does something like this, oh no, here, yeah, he has to place the elephant first. But I was an idiot that took his knight up, because free knight, who doesn't want to take it? And p5 plus 1 doesn't work here, because after elephant's up, advisor up, he just develops his rook and cannon to strike down this pawn again. I'm like, what do I do? It feels like it's hopeless. Well, my dear viewer, have you guys thought about it? What should you do here? So I'm just going to play this variation where you push the elephant up. After knight comes, black decides to play this. And you're here. Wait. Okay, black decides to play this, let's say after... Oh no, then I'll play something like this. Let's say like this position. And black decides to force a trade. Do you just take the trade and just say, it's over, I'm not going in anymore. This is a trap. I'm not going to fall for it. And I'm just going to trade off my chariot. Now, I mean, if you're a positional player, go ahead. But for players like me, they are more tactical in nature. I don't like trading chariots off. Unless there's a good reason to, like tempo advantage, I really don't want to do it. So what do you do here? You obviously need to like push it here, r equals 7. And this is also a main line. It's just that paired up with c2 plus 4 or c8 plus 4 in this scenario, it has a lot of venom. Like, what do you do here? What do you do when it takes? You know what I mean? So let's just go back to the board. Let's just play the normal c2 equals 5. c2 equals 5. And we're just going to reenact the board again. Just to give you guys an idea of how it's like. Let's say something like this. Wait, no. Not this. You play this, and then you play this. Then you place this. Maybe you play something like this. Then black will play elephant up. Chariot will go down. And now, he wants to force a trade. Chariot goes to the side. Black decides to play c2 plus 4. Now attacking the pawn. and attacking the elephant and the chariot. Because if you don't respect it, it gets very easy for you to get checkmate. Just to illustrate it one more time. This isn't just to kill the chariot, it's also to kill you as a person. Let's say you take, chariot is basically trapped here. Let's say it moves out here. Check, push it up, push it back, hit hunter. The structure is very strong. Very, very strong here. Yeah, very, very strong here. Or you, after this, let's say red decides to, I don't know, I'm red here. Let's say I just decide to develop this checkmate. You have to be very careful on it. You need to push it up here or something like that. Or you put your king out. Black can probably push his chariot out and try to pull out for a winner. Something like, let's say red doesn't know what he's doing. Check, check. Then here is a very vulnerable spot. Something like this. Very violent because both rooks will be here while the general and the chariot will be here as well. Okay. So I've been through this. The question is, what do you do here in this scenario? Pause the video if you'd like to comment it. How do you have a counterplay to this move? As central cannon players, we will have to face this. Central cannon 7-pawn players, you will have to face this someday in your life. And one day you will need to know how do you counter against this opening. Just gonna change it to, oh no, I cannot change it anymore. So, what do you think the answer is? If your answer is pushing this pawn up, you'll be right. p3 plus 1 is the best move. Why does p5 plus 1 not work? It's because of a4 plus 5 into rook here, giving massive advantages and development to black over than red. So as a result, we don't want to play p5 plus 1, even though we want to strike in the center. We want to get rid of the vulnerable third file pawn. p3 plus 1 is very vulnerable. We want to get rid of it now. If black takes the pawn, that's a free knight. But what about your knight? You just move it out away. Wait, no. You move it here. You don't want to move it here because here, chariot, now you lost a piece. Basically, you're doing an even trade-up. It's not too bad, but black has quite a bit of development with an extra pawn up. So you want to play something like A, n3 minus 5, push it out, and now you try to exchange it and leave the pawn hanging. So you're up an extra knight up. But what if black decides to play something else? If black doesn't take the pawn right, then black decides to play, I don't know, he decides to play the advisor and tries to push it out, pieces out. Which won't work now, because the knight is free, it's actually free. So all he has to do is actually defend it here. What happens if you take and you take back? The knight will now move out and black will be in a more liberating position. Chariot, cannon, knight. 4 pieces are active on the map while red is still stuck with a knight, a chariot. I mean the chariot just went all the way back down. So what your answer should just be is just to push it up, let him take, you take, push down, and then you just push it. Let's say black decides to play something like this, he's trying to strike it down here. You can always just block it with your cannon, or you block it with your elephant. Both are fine, honestly. Or you can even, yeah. Because this port will be a little bit weaker, just cause your knight is here now. I think it's just for a knight to have a weaker position, it's not too bad of a trade. You got a free knight after all. the knight sacrifice is no longer a sacrifice anymore. I mean, it is a sacrifice for nothing now. So for example, let's say knight here and decides to go down and try to strike for it. Red can play something like this. As black decides to play something like this. This is a bit scary, yes, it is a bit scary. But as red decides to play something, he can strike the cannon that is in this spot. He can push the center pawn up. Now, I think pushing the center pawn up isn't too bad here. Because black needs to take this, then before he can start his windmill attack. So maybe to defend this, he can try to push. No, I don't like pushing out the center pawn just yet. Something like pushing out the 7th pawn to attack the cannon, something along those lines. Because even if he checks, he just goes back, it's really nothing much. And the pawn is blocking him from taking any piece. If he tries to move it back, you take the cannon, chariot. So, all in all, Bridge should be enjoying quite a bit of advantage. I could be wrong here, but I have played this multiple times. Against it, and lost quite a few times. And also played using it and lost it quite a few times. Actually, I just suck at Ping Fu Ma, to be honest. Yeah, but this is one of the traps to sacrifice your knight. And if you're interested in, well, tricking people, this is one of the options you can take. Is it logically sound? No, it's not. It's not sound gameplay, but it is fun when you can pull it off. I would call this the Haya Ishida, the quick Ishida of Xiangqi, because it is a very common trap, I would say. Well, not as common as probing cannon, but I will talk about that next time. Alright, I think that should be I think that should be about it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something new. And about the Mahjong video, yeah. I'm going to create that once I start being a good player. Cause apparently I just suck too much. I lost like 4 games in a row on Mahjong Soul. Then I lost another 3 more. Then I just had coaching and now everyone just says I suck. Yeah, life kind of sucks, you know what I mean. So part 3 about tips and tricks, I'll cover that next time. Next time for Singapore Mahjong. Apparently, I'm not good enough yet. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Hope you like and subscribe.